Ebusiafo, Mimo Bibi Akwaba. It is another day. I hope say we are all doing well. If you are listening to me, wherever you are listening from, Mr. in the comment box, people say the fire emoji, oja, fire emoji, eto comment box demo. We today I'm going to talk about something extremely serious, right? Now, at this point, this thing is going to really shape in Zambia air cost over social media, and it's going to affect people like myself. How we report on stories, how we report on news on social media and all that. Now, the new bill are buying or passing. Now, if you don't know what's going on, I have done a full reading of the entire bill, 32 pages on this platform. The video is there, about an hour long. You can go on my, in my videos and watch that particular video. Into yenina, you go through the particular bill. A buying bill or person pass the CSA, right? Cybersecurity authority bill. Now, me mamoti as say basically no. A buying person was shemra for more months the year cano aseno. A buying person was shemra. Na mrana a buying person was sheno. Yes, there are some parts of Imrani Nibia me Mababet ha makase. I am not happy with it. Some of the parts and they say your software developer now person developing any software in this country. I was say woje a year approval from a buying and sana would develop. I don't agree with that. I think say it will start it's going to hinder innovation, right? I personally don't agree with that. And some of Imbra say a buying susu say who posted bibi on social media. You bet to me aboira ufi and I bet to me aboira baby obiana trese ebia. You bet to me sizi wonyama what you say. And no, the problem I had with NSA a banker said they may go to court to seek a warrant. Inti may na womu yusu wohono and I may mentia say because obia unim law in sensembia muno. Once in law they say may not just at the end you say or pair and obey yes sir. But once we use shall and then it in the on yes sir. What I say, and I've also I've said whatever I have to say on that particular part. But there's equally some good parts of the bill, right? Misusu say ebeboa. In fact, say a pass bill we are obian to me nkongo fa sebi obia wo disabled person keke. Emfa ninsem anani videos embambe to social media en twe no. Udi agra yebecho. Say the bill way ba untumi nkofa akola bis keke embe posting wo social media udi agra yebecho. Say the bill way ba untumi mambe dimba attempts keke e wo social media udi agra yebecho. So there are also some parts of the bill bia yan hwe here. What you say ebeboa, but there are parts of the bill bia misusu say enonso emboa. Okay? Personally, that is my thought, and I've done, as I'm saying, I've done a reaction, I've done a full reaction on that, right, on this platform. Now, me pesi yetie Kojo Oppong Nkrumah because he's speaking about the bill and he's saying something, and I personally feel like Kojo Oppong Nkrumah Simbia Walker efa bill ne hono o chantro, right? I personally feel say Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is trying to exaggerate or trying to, basically politics now. What I say, he's just trying to hammer on sort of the bad side of the bill so that it looks very, very devilish. Okay, and you see, there's a reason why Kojo Oppong Nkrumah workers, and I think that is very rich. And this is rich coming from Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. I'm going to let you know why I think it's rich coming from him. Let's listen to Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, what he said, and then you hear my analysis on Kojo Oppong Nkrumah.
To say that what we are seeing appears to be a draft, and that they want to consult on that draft. From what I have seen as a former information minister, this draft is dangerous, though it's not surprising. And let me explain why it's not surprising. It's not surprising because I think the president first announced it, that they are going to use the national security apparatus to go after people who make comments on social media that they consider, for whatever reason, whether it's under hate speech or it's under whatever, they consider it unfavorable. They're going to search for your IP addresses and then get the security apparatus to go after you. The president himself said it. So it's not surprising that his minister is now following up with a draft bill with such wild provisions in there. What is dangerous about it is that over the last set of decades, various countries have been moving away from criminalizing speech. There are other remedies for speech that may be deemed unfavorable, most of them civil, but not necessarily criminalizing it. And that's why you would recall that even the Criminal Libel and Sedition Act was repealed by the Kufuor administration. There are still remnants of laws that still seek to criminalize speech. For example, this law that is being used a lot, publication of false news, with intent of causing fear, panic, is one of those laws that actually still needs to be repealed. Instead of repealing that to advance, democratic freedoms, the government is now seeking through this draft that it wants to consult on to enact legislation that will now even ensure that when you put up a comment in your chat groups and they find it offensive according to their criteria, you could go to jail. And I think it's a very dangerous, encroachment into the area of free speech. The government needs to tread cautiously. I'm hopeful that when the consultations start, the government will see wisdom in backtracking and ensuring that instead of rather seeking to further criminalize speech, even the remnant laws on criminalization of speech should be repealed.
So that's Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. Now, I think this is extremely rich coming from Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. We will come back to Kojo Oppong Nkrumah and some portions of Nsemwa Wakanda. We are going to treat it. I think this is extremely rich coming from Kojo Oppong Nkrumah. And the reason why I'm saying that, and they said, we sat in this country and we saw when President Akufo-Addo or the NPP government was trying to pass the e-levy law, right? At a point, it was a bill. Ghanaians stood and spoke against it. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah then went round, organized town hall meetings, trying to convince Ghana for say e-levy, it was a good thing. In fact, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah at a point, still they passed the e-levy. And the Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is online, is coming, doing video, telling Ghanaians, Rana ye be passing the crano, Brabi Kojo Oppong Nkrumah only membra emwa. And the Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is saying that and ye at the end of the crano, ye per se criminalize it, and ye the same Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, it was a big worry under you, your government. Inti yebeti se wo no krano waba be set up center bia yese mo checking misinformation ni disinformation ye bisa se NPP for ya report your mama mo Kojo Oppong Nkrumah center na mo ti ya na mo se mo checking misinformation and disinformation no that time no sebe. What action did you take? It was a big problem under you because yeni na ye hu say AI aba and obi betumi afa video ya mi ye no dia or the AI any me voice ebe ya ose me na me can be meanwhile na enye me. And so Abai sort of wants to meet up. We've all seen videos in this country. His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, the AI. A video His Excellency John Dramani Mahama, it looks like all country Ghana for them come and do some investments be intro. We've seen videos of people use AI of Ibrahim Mahama. Why? Because technology no akonenim inti was say embrana ye shishanenso no eduru ho. Under you Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, it became a big issue. It became an issue. Say senior technology ne do nenim no, senior disinformation ne misinformation ne kono yenye bibi. Today you are speaking against the criminal libel law. The same law. Yes, I know NPP mobile na mubogu ye, but and the work said there are still some remnants of the criminal libel law. Bia said ye still no mrebi wohwa still no say ye use we no they criminalize speech. Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, you are saying that today. Under President Akufo-Addo, President bi ni Ghana ye chi nkrofo under the so-called publication of false news than President Akufo-Addo. A lot of journalists were arrested under Sadia no. But under you were the information minister and you didn't say anything about it. Even a former journalist, you didn't say anything about it. Today, Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, you want to act as our savior. You want to act, say Ghana for savior. And then, kasa etia emrawi. And America no, There are some parts of the bill where personally I don't agree. But there are also equally some good parts of the bill that me feel say, let's talk about it. And there was a part that Kojo Oppong Nkrumah said that was funny. He said, saying it looks like people are moving away, or people are running away from a criminalization of speech. It is a lie. In fact, if there has ever been a time, amanaman setting so that people will be cautious of the things they say on social media. It is a Kojo Oppong Nkrumah can be bisa obwa. Why am I saying that? And the Uko UK, just last 2 years, right? Last 2 years, UK, the Online Safety Act. It was passed in October 2023. Or see, it is a law that places new duties on online service providers to protect users from illegal and harmful content. It aims to make the UK the safest place in the world to be online by requiring companies to assess risks, remove illegal content, and protect children from harmful material. Ghana the same thing. Ebe protecting kola nanseng wo he near the kola ba be si radio so no wo ka ene we ni me edaye we ni me edaye ene we ni we ene me daye na ye twetwe kola no social media nanseng be he na kola ketwa na nsem ni ye we near the kola bi ni ye twetwe no na ye sexualizing kola wo social media. UK for passing mra na so beti opanyin bi comment bi a wo pass ya fa akola bi hu no meka se na panyin we di entia no wo kan sem bi sei ito he embra we nanka aban ede ba ye kan some part of embra no tackle that particular thing. It is all baba ka se embra na ye de ba no ye embra bi a ase ye pese ye criminalize speech na nansen kra no amana man ni na no people are moving away from criminalizing speech. It is a lie. In fact, people are setting him right because AI aba. There was a video last week. Trending on social media. Akola kitu ebi a yese na eagle se den be fa akola na come. You show some mumu bebe mu say video no. AI generated video. And the AI systems na aba no, they can even generate videos where and the videos no they look extremely real. Inti was embra back no so that enye bibia keke no obi abetumi aposti in the name of free speech. And countries are womudi enim no, they are doing that. Yes, I understand the fear because Ghana your mind be we extremely political. And so see ye bibi sana a political party or a government might abuse it. I understand it. But let us all sit down and talk about it. Let us not make it look like say a buying way person di bonne no ba be passing bra way no person yes no yes that is not what it's about. Meti obi ase obi obeka say tia de no say this part of the bill meti sankrofo na say. But you can't tell me entirely say 100% the bill is wrong. You can't tell me entirely. Just like what Kojo Oppong Nkrumah is trying to do. The same Kojo Oppong Nkrumah waka say nan saying amana mine ni edwane from bibisa no. He nan saying China for embra wo mo pass nan saying. But say China now regulates influencers. Only those with university degrees can discuss professional topics. And the China oye influencer me America say e wo social media and me wo China na me need degree mean to me nkasa mfa asem bi ho. And that is something a Ghana for no most of us have been calling for. Because obi oni hwe wa asem mu social media no your content no deal be atem. We are not saying say Ghana yenko to that extreme. Yes, because at the end of the day, we China our system no any Ghana system. Now China doesn't really run the democratic system intimately as here because one part of democracy is freedom of speech. Mbakuno nimbi bifa ho anaso onim fa ho kra na ye na edi eti agwa akwa sha ase. Nti o se ye penema ni bakone kasa. I understand that fact. But there are good sides of the bill that was say encouraging. And Kojo Oppong Nkrumah of all people shouldn't be doing that. At least if for nothing at all, Aban way, they've been transparent enough to submit the bill at this level. Hey, my man microphone here say NDC Aban way won't. They could have just gone to Parliament, passed the bill to become a law, and no one could have said anything. Why? Because they have majority, they have 2/3. They can bulldoze their way through and pass the bill. But the fact that they submitted it for Ghanaians to come out with their own reviews, no, it tells you that at least ye per se Ghana for and so tre wo mo adwen e wa de no e ho. Say NDC say ombe pass bill ya. There is nothing anyone can do to stop them. No one can do anything to stop them. But they submitted it, they brought it to the public. Why? Because ye per se Ghana for mu na mo nso mo de mo adwen tre e den eba. We were in this country where Kojo Oppong Nkrumah, you people, moko cabinet meeting, na munim, se na mo bema Ghana for haircuts. But you went around doing press conferences telling Ghanaians say there will be no haircut, there will be no haircut. When President Akufo-Addo na no kwa fum ya okoko kan o radio station say a haircut, the no. Na Kojo Oppong Nkrumah we nim obi ehun say na we nim why you shock say President Akufo-Addo the information about bonting. The video is there. You people didn't show any level of transparency. No. So what heard me up to this point, Mr. Munim say I've always been talking about Omo Awomwefu Esun. Now I want you to watch this video. So who team now with Fu Esun? The video we.
As a man, if at any point in time in your life you notice that your tummy, your belly is beginning to get bigger, take this very serious. If you notice that your belly, you're beginning to have belly fat, it's getting bigger and bigger, don't leave it. In fact, use everything in your life, everything you can to use to fight that belly fat. You might not know this until you start seeing the negative effects of that belly fat, that fat buildup in your tummy. Belly fat has very bad side effects on you. Number one, it can lead you to heart disease. Of course, belly fat has been linked to the onset of high blood pressure, high cholesterol level, and even plague build up in your arteries. That is why you should not allow your belly to be fat. Once you notice that it's getting fat, do everything you can to work on it to normalize.
I am recommending book now at that screen. What's the lady neka? We are bema na we fusha say eye kesi amesro. Wa hon din bia obetumi aya. Odi bema we funa ko from the man ko from. Enye bema pe o your back na. Book na that screen me recommend ya ma. Book we betre we nyama miensa. O yesa nyama miensa na e bema we fu aba form. Upe book ni bia. Mesre friend number na wo screen 0558074986. And I was happy this same number. You get the book. What you say it's just 100 CDs. It's here for Montreal comment box. That's it.